Chair, it's my pleasure to come here. I believe we are engaged in a few cases with IPOA and have written several letters on behalf of clients. But this particular set of clients, they requested me that I accompany them to this meeting because, as you have remarked yourself, the issues being raised are absolutely important and would need to be taken up. There are three issues before we engage, I believe, on how we shall move forward with the complaint that is being made. And of course, the first thing is that the major achievement of our constitution, which I am aware that you are personally involved in, alongside a lot of us, was to ensure or something they call political neutrality, independence and impartiality of the National Police Service. And the Constitution did not stop at that. The Constitution also, to ensure that would actually be achieved on a day-to-day basis, mandated the creation of an independent oversight body, which is IPOA, to ensure that that one is upheld. Or the incidents that the Honorable Amalwa has indicated to you, all those point out to the fact that it is no longer possible to say that the National Police Service are politically neutral and are doing their jobs independently. And as a result of that, the body, which is your authority, mandated to ensure that one is achieved, must also answer to the Kenyan public. Why is this failure taking place when the Constitution is very clear that something must be achieved? So that takes us to the second point, that if violations have been there, many of them televised, why haven't we seen decisive action by IPOA? And this can only be in terms of saying the mayhem that we saw in Kiambu. There is a commandant in Kiambu. If the force that appeared to have been sitting backwards and watching terror acts of terror being perpetrated, including attacks on the courts, attacks on government bodies, and nothing appears to have been done, then there has to be a critical problem that must be addressed as a matter of national priority. And this is the reason why this is, has become a complaint of a different agency. And that's why I'm happy, and you allowed even the media to come and witness this. Because, as we say, sio jambo la kawaida now, what is currently happening. That, of course, now draws us to the fact that 2 years from now, the election season actually kicks 1 year from today. And during that time, there is going to be elevated political passions. And in these meetings with clouds, most of us who have not been there, my colleague Degwa Jiro has had the opportunity to be there, will be part of the legal team that we are dealing with. But what we have witnessed is the fact that there is considerable agitation and tension amongst the members of the public. And therefore, because you cannot be expect that if and when it becomes obvious that these acts of terrorism are officially sanctioned, then you may have a situation whereby the supporters decides to fight back. And when this start happening, that's a point in time in which we might lose our country. Because, and that's why, because the boundary between anarchy and stability has always been that there is somebody who wants to preserve a state of stability. And that person, the IPOA, is a necessary instrument under the law to ensure that it is achieved. And therefore the names, there are very many names that we shall be giving. I'm leading a bigger team to ensure that action is taken. The proof that indeed there is this kind of terrorism at least is not acquiesced to, aided or abetted by IPOA, would only be seen by ensuring that there are active prosecutions of those officials, including them being suspended from their work, but more importantly on our part, I was specifically told that you will be given the names of masked officers who are known from those local stations, their commanders, for civil actions to be taken against those individuals. Because we are going to have a departure. This damage that has occurred, there is no law under the National Police Service Act or the constitutions of Kenya that allows the police officers to engage in acts of goonism, to destroy people's property, and to hurt them. The High Court, you're aware of the case of Isharia, has already indicated that where a police officer hires his guns and is instrument of his authority to engage in criminal actions, you take personal civil liability. The criminal one, we leave it to IPOA. The civil one, we shall soon be serving summons all these officers so that they can tell us who ordered them to destroy other people's property. I think the only thing that is left, I believe with your CEO, they will point us to us who are the investigating officers, who shall be our contact persons, because this is a matter that we've been told we must deal with as a matter of certificate of urgency to ensure that decisive action is taken and in service of public interest in particular. Thank you very much. I don't know, Diego can add a single point I might have forgotten.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chair and members. When you see these members of Parliament leaving their busy constituencies, it tells you that we have over 20 constituencies. Assuming that each constituency has a minimum number of 200,000 residents or 300, it tells you that we are representing a big cross-section of the society. And why did I have to make that statement? It's so that IPOA may turn from what it is perceived to be and swing into actions. That the laxity of IPOA is affecting the ability of our clients to represent their electorates. It means that Honorable Wamuhia is not free to move to our constituencies. And the impediment is one that is known to you as IPOA. The impediment is the police. We are not here just to say that bullets were directed at our clients' vehicles. We are also here to ask, is it justifiable for somebody to launch a tear gas canister to a man who is not armed? Is that not misuse of police force? Because other than the bullets, they are also inhibiting the ability to exercise our democratic processes through the launch of canisters. A canister was launched in our vehicle yesterday. A vehicle that was in motion. Was it justifiable? Number two is that we have clips and videos of those officers who are doing that. A police officer discharged a bullet. He's seen on video begging to collect the cartridges. IPOA cannot tell me that they are blind to those issues. Number two, if IPOA does not rise up to rain on these rogue police officers, what we are currently experiencing is what I'll describe as pre-election violence. You are precipitating a repeat of 2007. What the Honorable His Excellency Rigathi said will be like Christmas. We are already experiencing it. IPOA, your laxity will precipitate something that will not be able to be handled. Number two, it cannot be said that these members of parliament have no right to represent their people. Yet, Mr. William Ruto has a right to go throughout the country and dishing out whatever they are doing. It cannot be said that Mr. Kindiki has a right to constitute the so-called empowerment, and our clients have not that right. There must be equality of arms. The person reigning on us, preventing us not to access the constituencies, is a person giving protection to Mr. William Ruto and Mr. Kindiki. There must be equality of arms. Otherwise, we are here to pose a challenge to you to see how far you're going to do this. We have evidence with us here at the basement. We'll be taking the media there to see the damages and to see where the bullets are launched. We are here for you to tell us whether you are ready to have them retrieved today or we go ahead and retrieve them. Thank you.
So I think, Honorable Chair, that is, I know there are many members of Parliament who would have liked to say anything. The Honorable Mbui, the Honorable Jane Kihara was a victim, Honorable Jamlek, but I would request them that we allow the presentations made on our behalf by our lawyers and our colleagues who have spoken to end there. But we will be also allowing our lawyers to remain to engage now with the chairman's team in terms of formalizing our complaint for their necessary action. Otherwise, Chair, just to thank you once more for the audience and to also say for the scriptures, we say, to whom much is given, much is expected. I think at your relatively young age, you've been given much responsibility by this nation. First of all, in IEBC, and now in this critical institution. As we speak, the police have become an existential threat to our democracy. We have a system that has weaponized them, independent institutions, and is now weaponizing the criminal justice system, where most of these members have now been branded terrorists and young people. And we're not just talking about targeting the opposition, Honorable Chair. We're also talking about targeting civil society. You have human rights activists who are being harassed. You have, including religious leaders who are being harassed. And the police are being used, actually, to create a state of fear and terror in the country. We have a reign of terror, and the police are the ones being used. With your mandate, Honorable Chair, I think you stand between us as a nation and anarchy because of a rogue police force that, unless it's reined in an election that is just a few months to come, we are entering that critical stage, Honorable Chair. You have been in IEBC. What Kriegler talked about, 2 years to the election. We are entering that period. In another 2 weeks, we'll be entering that period. So any situation that would allow pre-election violence will be a threat to our democracy, particularly the democratic elections that are coming, that are likely to be historic in terms of having the first one-term presidency in the history of our region. I hand over back to you. Thank you.